بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه نحمده ونشكره الحمد لله الذي رفع وآتوا اليتامى أموالهم ولا تتبدلوا الخبيث بالطيب ولا تأكلوا أموالهم إلى أموالكم إنه كان حوبا كبيرا
وآتوا اليتامى أموالهم. Another method, another way in which people cheat is when they give them the monies, the belongings, the estates, the properties of an orphan to keep. They mismanage it. Some misspend deliberately. Some even convert such monies and properties to their own personal properties. We have seen a brother who died, and the younger brother stood that late brother was their blood. Therefore, the wife and the children should find their ways. Where is the fear of Allah here? Would they have not reasoned that where their brother had gone one day, 1 week, 1 minute, 1 second, they will go to where their brother had gone. And that is why in Islamic jurisprudence, when the properties of an orphan is given to you for safekeep, you have to keep a record. If they are not matured enough, and from it must be recorded. And why you want to hand over the records, you have to call at least 2 witnesses, including the child or the children, in quotes. And you have to explain every penny spent and for the purposes that they have been spent. If you do not do this, and you have converted the monies, the properties onto your own, you are in trouble in the hereafter. Or some will use such monies to sponsor their own children to school, while the children of the late or deceased person or persons begin to suffer. Some of them, they have become bus conductors. Go and check the lives of some children. The children whose parents have used someone else's personal belongings to train their own children. وَآتُوا
اليتامى أموالهم ولا تتبدلوا الخبيث بالطيب ولا تأكلوا أموالهم إلى أموالكم إنه كان حوبا كبيرا.
Some farmers have been contributing monies against next season to start their farming processes, thinking that the person they handed over the money to was a trustworthy person. At the end, when the farming season was approaching, they went to such a person to get their monies. Different stories were told. Then the farmers were forced to go and get loans, and at the end, the money they are being owed were not paid. That is against the ethics of Islam. وَلَا
تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالَهُمْ إِلَى أَمْوَالِكُمْ إِنَّهُ كَانَ حُوبًا كَبِيرًا.
يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا
أنفقوا من طيبات ما كسبتم ومما أخرجنا لكم من الأرض ولا تيمموا الخبيث منه تنفقون ولستم بآخذيه إلا أن تغمضوا فيه واعلموا أن الله غني حميد.
الشيطان
الشيطان يعدكم الفقر ويأمركم بالفحشاء والله يعدكم مغفرة منه وفضلا والله واسع عليم.
I read in the book where even sometimes the government in the past, every sector must have its own allocation, budget allocation. In the past, one of the governments, instead of using the budget allocated for agriculture, they diverted the money. Very painfully enough, majority of the monies were diverted into personal use. What is wrong with all we Nigerians? When the fear of Allah has been practically erased from our hearts, not all, but majority. Are you a human being? When you see your own fellow human beings walking the streets who have turned beggars because of hunger, and yet you don't feel anything. If I had my way, I would have suggested that all those in government, beginning with the president, they should reduce their salaries. And the reduction should be used to feed the indigent. 2, the ministers, the vice president, the governors, the deputy governors, including the local government chairman. That's 1. 2, people should stop giving them gifts. How many times have you seen them in the market buying dresses, buying food items? They already have and have more than enough. Look for the indigent. I was interviewed, I think 3 or 4 days ago, by the Daily Trust staff, and said that government, people are claiming that government should not pay the fee for the Hajj of people this year. That some have paid half, and I said yes. My opinion is that government should not pay. Hajj is compulsory and it's not compulsory. If you analyze that phrase, you understand it very well. Number 1 is money. In Yarbawa, you go to the airport, it's not allowed. You have to work for it, or you pray to get the luck for it. Some of these people have really struggled enough to pay this half. If that is the case, such people are still wallowing in great hunger. What is the business with Hajj then? For one thing we don't know is this, and we have to know. And for some who know, they should know the more. So long you are a Muslim and you have the intention of performing Hajj, but Allah has not made it easy. Even if you die in that condition, the reward of someone who has performed Hajj is for you. Wow. Analogically, Minkiyas, Sallalaya, you don't buy a kudin rago, or nowhere, you don't have money to purchase a ram. It's not compulsory you go into indebtedness. It is not compulsory you go borrowing. It is not compulsory you go begging. Leave it like that. Why? Because you have already had the intention. 2, if you don't have the money to slaughter, the Prophet has said it categorically that for Muslims who have had the intention but they don't have the means, I have slaughtered on their behalf. So what next? Islam is very simple. Going back to our discussion, some of the farmers, you see them engaging in hard operations. Even some of my brothers, they will need something to sell their cows. If they have in essence, there's no problem. But for you that you are struggling, it is not proper enough. At all, it is not proper. It's un-Islamic. Therefore, instead of government paying for them, let government look for those and empower them so that if they're very, very serious, by next year's Hajj, they'll be able to pay for themselves. Instead of attending the Hajj and they come back becoming seasonal beggar or weekly beggar or quarterly beggar. Therefore, if you look at it critically, government allot budgets to each ministries.